Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and today we are going to study some questions based on adjectives. The same questions that were given to you in the adjective homework. Clear? So let us start the session with question number 1, PT level. All the teachers in the school know that Rahim is smarter than any girl in the class. Very interesting question. So the students who must have solved this question, they must have a perception that Rahim is smarter than any other girl. It should be like other. They will think like this. But the fact is that we are talking about if this case was like this, any student, if the case was like this, any student. So the answer is like all the teachers in the school know that Rahim is smarter than any other student in the class, because Rahim is a part of the student community. So when we say Rahim is smarter than any student in the class, it means Rahim is smarter than himself. Please understand this. If I say Rahim is smarter than any student in the class, it means Rahim is smarter than himself, which is incorrect. So the answer becomes all the teachers in the school know that Rahim is smarter than any other student in the class. But if we talk about girls, Rahim is not a part of the girl community. So it becomes, the sentence becomes 100% correct. I'll tell you why. Because the answer is now, all the teachers in the school know that Rahim is smarter than any girl in the class, because he is obviously smarter than any girl in the class. Not any other girl, because he is not a part of the girl community. So the answer to this question is no error. No error is the answer. Clear? Okay. Moving ahead, question number 2. A lot of food is wasted per day because very less people in this world understand the value of food. People are countable. People can be counted, right? So little, less, least is used for uncountable things. Water, money, wealth, hope, little, less, least. But we are talking about people who can be counted. So it should be very few people. It should be few people, right? So a lot of food is wasted per day because very few people in this world understand the value of food. So few is used for countable things. Little, less, least is used for uncountable things. So this is the biggest mistake students make. Less people, less students. It should be few, very few people, very few students, or fewer students than. This should be correct usage. So because very few people in this world understand the value of food. Clear? Error is in which part? Error is in B part. B has an error, so we'll mark 2 as answer. Clear? Moving ahead. Question number 3. It must be accepted that girls in general are more gentle than boys in every respect. Okay, this should be gentler. You must be wondering why gentler? Okay, it should be gentler. Because the correct comparative of gentle is gentle. Gentler, gentlest, not more gentle. So obviously, to remove this misconception from your mind, I use this word, use this sentence as more gentle. So it should be gentler. The answer is, it must be accepted that girls in general are gentler than boys in every aspect. Error was in part B. Clear? So B has an error. Moving ahead to question number 4. No man in this world has ever been said to be more ambitious than Alexander. Okay, it's a tough question. Well, no man in this world has ever been said to be more ambitious than Alexander. Okay, so there were many men who were said to be ambitious, right? So Alexander was one of the men. So it should be no other man. Please understand this. Because if we say no man was said to be more ambitious than Alexander, it means Alexander was also said to be non-ambitious. But if we make like no other man, so no other man, we are excluding Alexander from the group. No other man was ever said to be more ambitious than Alexander. So he must be left out from the group. So this answer is no other man. A has an error. Clear? No other man. Moving ahead to question number 5. He behaves cowardly whenever a situation comes where he has to show his bravery. Okay, cowardly is not an adverb. Please make it very clear in your head. He behaves in a cowardly manner. or like a covered, because the noun is covered, adverb is in a cowardly manner, adjective is cowardly. So he behaves in a cowardly manner or like a coward whenever a situation comes where he has to show his bravery. So error is in part A. A has an error. Please understand. Cowardly is not an adverb. We can say he behaves smartly, but we cannot say he behaves cowardly. Cowardly is an adjective, smartly is an adverb. So behaves in a cowardly manner or like a coward. So error is in part A. 100% error, you understood, right? Okay. Question number 6. The two first chapters in this book are the best ones to read and elucidate. Elucidate means to explain. Okay. The two first chapters. Chapters is noun again, and two is a, what is two? It's a cardinal, a number. So ordinal is always used before a cardinal. Means the rank. The first two people, the first two people, the second last chapter of the book, this way we use, or the first 5 men from the crowd, this way. So this rank should come before the number. The first 10 people were called by the police. So this should be placed over here. Especially in this case where we talk about the first as an ordinal, first. Then the number should be placed after it. So it should be the first 2 chapters in this book are the best ones to read and elucidate. The first 2 chapters. Clear? Okay. A has an error. Next question. Question number 7. My book is 10 times better than yours because it contains detailed explanation of every concept of trigonometry. Okay. 10 times. So 10 times means one book is there and your book is 1 and my book is 10. These are equal, right? So your book is 1 and my book is 10. That is what it means, right? My book is 10 times better than yours. So if we say my book is 10 times better than yours, I need to multiply 10 with your book to make my book. So if we have to cover 10 miles, we need to know what is 1 mile. And then with 10 times 1 mile, we make 10 miles, right? So to make 10 times better than your book, I need your book to be 1 unit. And what is 1 unit? 1 unit is positive degree of comparison. So it should be my book is 10 times as good as yours. So we must use the positive degree of comparison. My book is 10 times as good as yours, not the comparative degree. We cannot use better than yours. But comparative is when we talk about the difference. For example, my book is 100 rupees cheaper than or 100 rupees more expensive than your book. But if we talk about the number of times, we need a positive degree of comparison, which is as good as, to compare one book 10 times better than the other book. Clear? So it should be 10 times as good as yours. Okay, so error is in part B. I think you got it, right? Okay, moving ahead, question number 8. He was disappointed because his all friends had succeeded in proving their mettle in the information technology sector, IT sector. See, all is a quantifier or a qualifier, both it is, qualifier and quantifier. Modifier basically, we will use modifier word, right? So this modifier, when used with a possessive case pronoun, it should come after this, after all. So we'll use like, he was disappointed because all his friends, for example, all my friends are poor, not my all friends. All his friends had succeeded, not his all friends. So this should be all his friends. So error is in part B. All his friends is the correct answer. Clear? So error is in part B. Moving ahead, question number 9. Tea is considered the most tastiest drink in the world by the connoisseurs of repute. Connoisseurs means somebody who is an evaluator of food or tea for that matter. Basically, evaluator. Okay. Tea is considered the most tastiest. So tastiest is already in superlative. So we cannot use most before it. We cannot say most tastiest. It's already in the superlative. So tea is considered the tastiest drink in the world by the connoisseurs of repute. So error is in part B. Already something is in superlative. So we cannot use the most. So B has an error. The tastiest drink. Okay. Fine. Next question. Question number 10. Adarsh is the most ideal student in the school as no complaint against him has ever been registered by any of his teachers. Okay. Ideal means already superlative sense, absolute sense. So somebody is ideal means the best one, the unique one, the best one. So it cannot be the most ideal. So Adarsh is an ideal student. An ideal means he's the best. So it cannot be the most ideal. Ideal means among the group of people, he is the best. So it should be Adarsh is an ideal student in the school as no complaint has ever been lodged registered by him against him has ever been registered by any of his teachers. One has an error. Clear? Okay, moving ahead to question number 1 of the mains level. The works of Milton are better than any other poet of his age. Okay, very interesting question. The works of Milton. Works means the creations. The works of Milton are better than any other poet of his age. So this has an error. We are comparing the works of Milton with any other poet, which is incorrect. So we have to compare the works of Milton are better than any other, better than the creations of any other poet of his age. So we have to compare the works of Milton. Works of Milton are better than the creations of or the works of any other poet of his age. So works word cannot be repeated, as a noun cannot be repeated. So the works of Milton are better than those of any other poet of his age. So what's the correct answer? Than those of any other poet. This is the correct answer. The works of Milton are better than any other poet, which is incorrect because we are comparing the works with any other poet. Works cannot be compared with poet. So it should be the works of Milton are better than those of, means the works of, those of any other poet of his age. Clear? Very good. Interesting question. Error was in part C. Means the correct answer is C. C is the correct replacement. Moving ahead, question number 2. No less than 5,000 people were killed in the earthquake. 5,000 people, countable, so it shouldn't be less. Little, less, least is used for uncountable things. Few, fewer, fewest used for countable things. So because than is there, so it should be no fewer than. No fewer than, no fewer than. This is correct answer. No fewer than means few, fewer, fewest for countable things. Clear? Moving ahead, question number 3. The world is running because of the vast difference between the IQ level of the erudite and of the lesser mortals. Okay. Okay, fine. The IQ levels of the erudite. The erudite means the knowledgeable people. Erudite means knowledgeable. The erudite means knowledgeable people because any adjective preceded by the makes it a plural noun. So the erudite means the knowledgeable people. So the world is running because of the vast difference between the IQ level of the erudite and of the means the IQ level of the lesser mortals. So mortals is basically what? A noun. And lesser means weaker. So this sentence has no error, no replacement required. Means no replacement is required. This is correct, totally correct. Because the IQ level of the erudite and the IQ level of the lesser mortals means it is understood that the IQ level of the mortals is mentioned over here. Because of is mentioned over here. And of the means the IQ level of the. Clear? Moving ahead, question number 4. The biggest problem of the world is that the foolish are cocksure. The foolish means the foolish people are cocksure. Cocksure means 100% sure. The biggest problem of the world is that the foolish are cocksure while the intelligents are full of doubt. See, we are comparing the foolish, which means the foolish people. So we must compare with the intelligent, which means the intelligent people. So the intelligence is incorrect. It should be the biggest problem of the world is that the foolish are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubt. So let us see the options. The intelligent people, the intelligent are full of doubt. This is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. The biggest problem of the world is that the foolish are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubt. 100% answer is C because it represents the intelligent, which is again the intelligent people. Clear? Moving ahead, question number 5. The issues that pertain to the challenges faced by the bourgeoisie. What is bourgeoisie? Bourgeoisie means the middle class. Middle class is bourgeoisie. The issues that pertain to means related to, that are related to. The issues that pertain to the challenges faced by the middle class bourgeoisie in identifying their basic needs are not bigger than they are being projected for the past few years. Okay, are not bigger than they are being, not bigger than. Let us see this question, very interesting. It's a very interesting question. See, are not bigger than, let us see the option. Are not as big as, are not so big as, are not as, are as big as, are so big as. See, 100% it's not used over here. Clear? And we are comparing what? The issues that pertain to the challenges faced by the bourgeoisie. Okay, there are certain things called the challenges faced by the bourgeoisie compared to the same people that is identifying their basic needs are not bigger than they are being projected for the past few days. Means the same thing is being projected. So we do not need to use the comparative degree. So what we'll do is the issues that pertain to the challenges faced by the bourgeoisie in identifying their basic needs are not as big as they are being projected for the past few days. What's the catch in using the positive degree of comparison? The catch is that the same thing, the issues they are facing now are not the same as they were facing earlier. They are being projected for the past few days. So the answer is not so big as. Not so big as. Why? Because if not is used, we cannot use as big as. Not is followed by so and then the positive degree of comparison and then the as. So are not so big as is the correct answer. For example, he is not so smart as his brother. We cannot say he is not as smart as his brother. So answer is the issues that pertain to the challenges faced by the bourgeoisie in identifying their basic needs are not as big as, are not so big as they are being projected for the past few days. So answer is 100% B. Clear? Okay, moving ahead to question number 6. Things turn worse when we tend to impose our ambitions on our children rather than understanding their own aims. Okay. Things turn worse when we, okay. See, there is no than in the sentence. We can use worse only when we have than in the sentence. Worse is what? Bad, worse, worst. So it should be things turn bad. Do we have an option like that? Things turn bad when, this is the correct answer. Things turn bad than they were earlier. That could have been the answer. But things turn bad, sorry, things turn worse than they were. That could have been the answer. But we are talking about things turning bad. No comparative is required. This is the correct answer. Clear? Okay, moving ahead to question number 7. Okay, students, next question. Our forefathers possessed much more stamina than their present progenies. So we are comparing our forefathers with their present progenies. Progenies means offsprings. So our forefathers possessed much more stamina than their present progenies. We are doing the correct comparison, means logical comparison. So our forefathers possessed much more stamina. They had much more stamina than their present progenies, their current offspring. So this is no replacement requires the correct answer. Clear? Okay, moving ahead, question number 8. John was enough kind to help me with money and suggestions. Okay, see, here enough has been used as an adjective, which is incorrect because kind is an adjective itself. So an adjective cannot be preceded by an adjective. It should qualify, enough should qualify kind by being placed after it. So it should be John was kind enough. So kind enough is the correct answer. This is an adjective. So enough is placed in two ways. I had enough money. So enough money means noun money preceded by enough the adjective. But if I say John was kind enough, kind is an adjective, enough is an adverb which is placed after it. So John was kind enough. This is the correct answer. Yeah. Moving ahead, question number 9. The bike flew off the road and fell into the valley because Rohan was driving fastest. See, driving fastest. We are not comparing Rohan's driving with anyone else. So it should be driving fast. Fastly is incorrect. There is no word called driving fastly. So driving fast is the correct answer. Because Rohan was driving fast. Fastest could have been used had we compared Rohan's driving with anybody else's. But we are not comparing his driving. So it should be driving fast. Fine. Now question number 10. It is difficult to decide which is the older of the two brothers. Okay, we are talking about two brothers, right? So for two brothers or sisters or people of the same family, we use elder, eldest. Fine. So it should be, it is difficult to decide which is the elder of the two brothers. So the answer is elder of the two brothers. Elder of the two brothers. Clear? So students, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much.